Hi, and welcome back to Dr. English YouTube channel. This is Dr. Moafi, a PhD in applied linguistics, and today's lesson is about sequence of adjectives. What do I mean by sequence? I mean order of the adjectives. In English or any other typical language or languages, we normally use two or three adjectives, even however rarely it may sound. Sometimes in writings, we use a couple of adjectives together either by using some connectives like and or commas or whatever, and sometimes without anything in between the adjectives. Okay, so for example, a phrase like or an expression like "good old days" is always "good old days," not "old good days." So how do we discern? How do we use? How do we utilize these adjectives one after the other? When we use a couple of adjectives together, so which one goes first and which one goes second, or even hardly do we use three, for example, adjectives. Which one is the third one? For example, as you can see, I used the adjectives of opinion or quality, such as nice, beautiful, lovely, good, bad, better, best, whatever, in whatever form that they may come. We consider them adjectives of quality or opinion, but they come before the adjectives of size. Be careful, like big, small, large. You can pause this video, by the way, if you want to know, for example, the examples that I gave here on a piece of board for you. All right. And for example, after the adjective of size, we use shape, like round, square, thin, thick. All right. And then we use the adjectives of age or temperature, or the other way around, like temperature and age. Age, I mean new, old, young. Temperature, like cool, cold, right? And the adjective of color goes next, like blue, green, red, silver, golden. All right. And participles. What do I mean by participles? I mean a form. It's not a verb, although it originates from verbs. It is not a form of verb. Actually, they don't function as verbs in the sentences. All right. Usually, participles, in fact, depending on the structure, of course, if you use the past participle, present participle, they may come or be used as a verb in a sentence. Like, for example, have done something. But as far as the adjective are concerned, when the participles are used instead of the adjective, functioning as adjectives, such as shock, shocking, or shock, shocked, right? Whether with ing or ed, the pp form of it, they both, in fact, function as adjectives. So after the color comes the adjective of participle. Then we have the adjectives of pattern, as you can see here, right? Like checked, plain, striped, dotted, all right, blank, or spotty. Adjectives of origin, like, the country where it comes from or where it is made in, like American, English, Japanese, Persian, Indian, African. And the adjective of material is next, like metal, wooden, wool, cotton, gold, silver. As you can see, there is a difference between gold and golden. Golden normally is the color, while the material is gold. Okay, it's made of that material, right? Like the metal, for example, iron or silver. And last but not least is the adjectives of purpose, like sleeping bags, for example, or running shoes, or wedding dress, for example, right? And then we use the nouns. So as you know, adjectives all of them come before the nouns. Even before the adjectives, I used a function word as determiner, right? Determiners, okay? They come in different forms like quantifiers, articles, demonstratives, and possessives. As you know, I made a video about each one of them, as well as the determiners, itself. So we have 5 videos on my YouTube channel you can find about the determiners and their subcategories, as you can see. I also had a video about the adjectives, or another video about the position of the adjective, but this one, we particularly concentrate on the sequence of adjective, the order of the adjectives. So as I mentioned again, I reiterate that we don't use a lot of these adjectives together, right? It's not very normal. It's not ordinary to use all of these adjectives together. We may use a couple of them together, right? Like good old days, the example I gave you. For example, red cotton shirt, red cotton American shirt, all right? So red is the adjective color here, right? And then the cotton is the material, as you can see, all right? And then we use the shirt. This is another example, if you ask me. Thank you very much for watching this video, and don't forget to like and subscribe.